Hey everybody, welcome back to a North Texas Weather Center forecast, and today what we're looking at is primarily what's going on in central and southern Texas in terms of what to expect in terms of snow and ice today, as well as into the overnight hours. Obviously, this is a pretty significant event in Texas. We usually don't see these sort of events, especially as far south as areas like Corpus Christi, so this is a very far southern event that we usually don't see. So I'm going to kind of break down what we're looking at as of right now and what to expect over the next several hours. I'll show you a little bit of what's going on in North Texas, because there is a little bit of snow as about 2:30 this afternoon, but most of it is not hitting the ground. It's a lot drier up in North Texas in comparison to areas like San Antonio, Round Rock, and areas near Austin. So let's go ahead and kind of break down. I'll start in North Texas, then we'll get to southern Texas in just a moment. So this is what's going on in North Texas as of right now. There are some snow flurries and maybe some light snow as well mixed in here, anywhere from Wichita Falls all the way out to Ardmore, and this is all just light snow or even just some flurries. A lot of this probably is not hitting the ground, primarily due to the fact that the air at the surface and around 1,000 feet and below is all dry, and it's all between the dew point levels of 0 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which basically means that the temperatures are right around 30 degrees Fahrenheit. The relative humidity is right around 25-30%, so it just isn't humid enough for these snowflakes to really get to the ground. A lot of it's just evaporating before it even gets to the surface, so any snow that does fall, it's likely not going to accumulate, but this is the area that we're looking at as of right now. As of about 2:35, and you can see this is the area here, and this is going to be all moving out to the east-southeast, and it might reach areas like Gainesville and Sherman. I can't rule out maybe a flurry or two in Denton County or Collin County, but it really should be very minimal. Don't get too excited about it. It's not much. It'll last maybe a few seconds, and that'll be about it, but that's what we're currently looking at out of areas in North Texas. Now let's break down the huge event that's going on in central and southern Texas. This is obviously the huge event that's ongoing for areas just south of San Angelo, south of Waco. Those areas are seeing potentially some snow and as well as some ice accumulation as well. So here's what we're looking at is around 2:35 this afternoon. You can see there's plenty of snow falling in areas south of San Angelo, southwest of Waco, and this should primarily stay south of those locations. This will be potentially accumulating up to a half an inch to an inch of snow. That will be pretty isolated, but there's a chance that some areas do see up to an inch of snow anywhere from like Brady to Keelan, and as well as Austin could see that accumulation. Primarily what you're going to see in areas like Austin will likely be more ice, and there could be accumulations up to 1/10 of an inch of ice for some areas, which could very well delay or cancel schools for the region Friday, and I do anticipate that to happen for many locations. Junction is definitely getting a good amount of some snow and maybe some freezing rain and sleet as well. Plenty of reports as well of freezing rain along I-10 as well as I-35, a lot of sleet reports, but obviously a lot of this will accumulate later, and it will eventually potentially cause some travel impacts. That's where our winter weather advisories are ongoing as of right now across San Antonio and to the north. Now there is a winter weather warning across areas like Corpus Christi, areas in the southern portion of Texas, this area here, and that's for the potential of 1/10 of an inch of accumulative ice, and as well as the chance for maybe a half an inch to an inch of snow. The snow threat will likely stay on the Mexico and Texas border, but there will definitely be a chance for ice as far east as Corpus Christi, and this will be really impactful for tomorrow morning. All right, let's take a look at the future radar and everything that you need to know, and as I said before, there is a winter storm warning ongoing for areas in southern Texas and a winter weather advisory here across areas like San Antonio. Austin are included in that winter weather advisory. All right, let's take a look at the future radar. So this is over the next several hours. You can see 3-4 o'clock. A lot of this activity with the freezing rain, sleet, and snow mixture will move across areas like Austin as well as San Antonio. The big event will happen overnight tonight, which will primarily bring ice and snow to the regions. And this will be the primary area, I think, for ice anywhere from Corpus Christi all the way out to the Mexico and Texas border. This will have the best shot for some potential ice accumulation up to 1/10 of an inch. You can see 1-2 in the morning. A lot of this activity moves into the region. Eventually, by about 7-8 in the morning, a lot of this moves off the coast and away from land, but this will definitely accumulate into ice. And why is that? Because the temperatures overnight will continue to drop, and by about 7 tomorrow morning, especially on bridges, there will definitely be some ice. So if you drive over bridges in the morning, and there's not really any ice accumulation on your roads, but there will definitely be some on the bridges, as they do cool down a lot quicker than what it would on the road. So you can see temperatures across the region ranging from the low to mid 30s. The coldest areas are going to drop to around 30 degrees or so there will definitely be some sort of ice accumulation inland. Maybe closer to the coastline, temperatures will be probably closer to the mid to upper 30s, which will likely mean that there's not going to be as much ice in those regions. And off to the Austin and San Antonio areas, you'll definitely see ice. A lot of this will melt after lunchtime, so just keep that in mind. Bridges might still have some ice on it around lunchtime, but after that, a lot of this should all melt off, and well, actually, a lot of the areas in southern Texas, like San Antonio, will get close to 50 tomorrow, so it will definitely be a much warmer day than what we saw today. Here's the ice accumulation over the next several hours. hours. This is not what we've already seen, but this is what we're expected to see over the next several hours. So this does not include what's already had or is already accumulated. So you can see areas like Corpus Christi and central portions just inland, just west of Corpus Christi, are going to see potentially up to a 1/10 of an inch of ice. So make sure you stay updated with North Texas Weather Center for the latest. We will be covering this on our YouTube channel, and make sure to follow us as well as on Facebook at North Texas Weather Center and on our Instagram page at North Texas Weather Center.